Hello guys, and Ukraine continues to demilitarize Russia by destroying their ammunition warehouses, and not only in Russia or on the temporarily occupied territories of Ukraine that Russia actually uses as a platform for their offensive, but even in countries far away from our borders like Syria, where another ammunition and drone warehouse was neutralized after Ukrainian agents identified it there. And a detonation lasted for hours when Ukrainian agents found a warehouse near Mariupol. Let me tell you more about this very successful and very important strategy of the Ukrainian armed forces that want to defend our country and actually a very big part of this world that suffers from Russia and similar authoritarian regimes. If you're new to the channel and you want to see Russia defeated, subscribe. My name is Anna, I'm from Ukraine, I'm in Ukraine, and here I share my thoughts and emotions from an ordinary Ukrainian perspective. As many of you beautifully say, I'm an extraordinary Ukrainian, but that's just because I live in very extraordinary times, and I wish you to never experience that. Because we literally have to fight for our life. And one of the best ways to protect more of Ukrainian families, more of Ukrainian houses, is actually to demilitarize Russia and destroy more every day, more and more of their ammunition warehouses. Unfortunately, first of all, they've got lots of old Soviet crap. I mean, various missiles, bombs, aircraft that they were building for decades in times of the Cold War. And also, unfortunately, they have very evil and very effective partners like Iran, like North Korea and China that supply Russia with everything it needs in just a blink of an eye without discussions, quarrels, or expressed concerns. You know, I can be brutally honest on this channel because I consider all of you my real friends. And that's what we feel in comments and in our opinions. And I honestly do not understand why Ukraine is not allowed to strike back. Because this permission would multiply the number of destroyed ammunition warehouses in Russia, thus saving thousands of lives, including even evil Russian soldiers who otherwise would do nothing. They would have nothing to do in Ukraine. So let's start with Mariupol, because that detonation was huge there. Mariupol was a beautiful Ukrainian city that is a place of a great human tragedy, and all because of the Russian invasion and the scorched earth policy that they have applied to this beautiful city, destroying it all, including thousands of civilians. I cannot imagine the city ever rebuilt. For me, it is an internal memorial and a place of one of the biggest war crimes in the 20th century and 21st century, and I'm not exaggerating. Right now, Russians use Mariupol as one of the bases where they keep their supplies, where they put their soldiers for rotation. And recently they have developed a very big ammunition warehouse, and Ukrainian intelligence services were observing this process because it took them really long. First of all, they decided to continue the railroad so that they can bring stuff from inside Russia closer to the front lines. Then, understanding that the majority of this things that they will transport with the railroad are very explosive and dangerous, they started building underground bunkers where they could hide them. And with all this care, with all this confidence, they were storing them for one beautiful moment will destroy it all. And this happened. In the result of the successful intelligence operation, this warehouse was destroyed, the detonation was huge, and not only this ammunition was destroyed, but also the infrastructure that they have developed for months to store this evil. Because it was just not a simple, I don't know, warehouse, but something underground with bunkers and all of that stuff. And this is beautiful because this means more Ukrainians will see tomorrow. And if you want to see Russia defeated and Putin in our yesterday, subscribe and please share those videos that you consider important, because I believe the world needs to know more truth, especially with the super active Russian propaganda messages all over the world and their infiltration in your countries via your social media influencers, TV hosts, and even bribed politicians. Please be careful, because Russia is a threat not just to Ukraine, not just to former Soviet republics, but believe me, to many countries overseas. And Syria knows that better than anyone else. You know, now I'm reading a book by Peter Pomerantsev. No, it's not propaganda. Maybe I will even try to record something more about this book because I love it. And there are lots of evidence that the world already knew about so many Russian crimes, what they did in Aleppo. There are thousands of hours of video footages that demonstrate how Russians bomb civilian houses, schools, hospitals, but the world decided to turn a blind eye on because, you know, Russia is a nuclear power. It's not okay. There are other nuclear powers that may start grabbing other countries that are around them. It's not the way you live on a planet. And they continue doing bad things to Syria. And they had a drone ammunition, should I say drone warehouse, that was also identified by Ukrainian intelligence agents and destroyed, thus saving more people. And we defend this world, not just Ukraine. Believe me, I'm not exaggerating. It may seem that I'm Ukrainian, I'm subjective, but I'm looking, and now I'm very attentive to see the traces of evil Russian special operations, be it political, economic, educational, or most often with each day, unfortunately, simply military. And by demilitarizing them, by destroying their military warehouses, stocks of their evil missiles, we save thousands of lives. So why on earth we are not allowed to do that? I cannot understand. Because during the years of this war, we have already proved to be a trustworthy partner. It goes without saying that the selection of the objects to neutralize in Russia will be verified and will be very clear. And this will mainly be ammunition warehouses. Because of this delay, Russians have already relocated their bombers, and they will be able to continue bombing us even after we get the permission. Sometimes I feel angry, honestly. And by neutralizing these ammunition warehouses in Russia, we will actually safeguard a very big part of this world and protect this world from the Third World War. And no, Putin will not use nuclear weapons, because this is a death sentence to him and he wants to live. Putin is desperate to live. That's why he's hiding in bunkers. Please let Ukraine strike back. And please let Ukraine defend itself and defend you too. And honestly, with each day, I feel more need to remind people it's not about support Ukraine. It's not about defend Ukraine. It's not about happening in Ukraine. It's about our need, and I mean global need, to defeat Russia and other authoritarian regimes that are observing what will happen to Putin after all of these war crimes. If he is allowed at the table, if he is negotiable with, if he is still treated as a president, why should they stop from committing similar war crimes against other countries? Think about that. It is our task together to defeat Russia, to imprison Putin, and then we can start negotiating. That's the only way. Join me on Instagram, X, Threads, and Discord if you want to know more from an ordinary Ukrainian life. And also, please always leave your ideas for the next videos in the comments. We have a good merch shop that has lots of items that work well as reminders and conversation starters about Ukraine. Check, the link is in the description of this video, same as all my social media pages. Please be careful of scammers. I never invite you to chat, and we don't have lotteries on the channel. Only the one who will neutralize Putin first. Ukrainian soldiers, Ukrainian intelligence agents, or KGB agents. I don't mind, whoever does it fast. And let me know, are you available for a live this Saturday? Because I've missed you and there are lots of topics that we can discuss together. Thank you so much for buying me coffees, becoming my patrons and sponsors of the channel. But most importantly, thank you for standing with Ukraine. Slava Ukraini!